I'll be right back. Or here comes Josh. Hey, you froze or what?
No, I'm not froze.
Oh, okay. When I came on, you were frozen. I couldn't hear nothing, bro. I just seen myself.
I might have been paused. What about now?
No, yeah. But you were like that a second ago. Hey, what's up, man?
No,
Yeah,
just messing around, but no, good. Oh yeah, Saud Muhammad. Hey, Dan mentioning those 80s guys. Yeah, Eddie Mustafa. I interviewed him once when I was writing for boxing. What do you call it? Ringside Report. They seemingly don't do much boxing these days, but yeah, I remember interviewing Eddie Mustafa. It was good to go. Donata Skywalker, I love your Uncle Bobby too. Good stuff there,
yeah.
Dan.
Thank you,
For
man.
sure. The
We gotta
legend.
keep his memory alive, man. A lot of these old fighters, man. A lot of the new generation. I have a lot of friends, man, and they don't know who Bobby Chacon is. They don't know who Alexis Arguello is. You know what I
Mm,
mean? Like
mm.
Salvador Sanchez. Like they got to go back, man. I be talking to Mexicans here, and I'm like, Salvador Sanchez, and they're like, oh,
And
I
they
never
don't know
heard this.
Salvador. Wow.
Telling the story of Salvador, and yeah, bro,
Man.
it's a trip.
And you're talking about some bona fide greats right there. That's pretty crazy, That's why you got to show love to the history. Got to know where things came from.
Right. That's why I like listening to your channel, bro. I don't know shit about the late 1800s and early 1900s, and that's when shit was way hardcore, bro. They think the 80s was
Yeah.
hard with 15 rounds. Man, tell them how many rounds they used to fight back in the day, Josh.
Yeah,
Man.
it's crazy. You have some where you could be anywhere at 75 rounds. There's some fights in history that have gone beyond that. You're talking in the hundreds of rounds. If you look back, you're talking fights that have gone 3 hours, 5 hours, etc.
Yeah.
And it is absolutely insane to think about it. And yes, this is under the Marquess of Queensberry rule. So that means that there were gloves, though smaller gloves, and 3-minute rounds. So that means they were legitimately going that long under Marquess of Queensberry rules. You can't even fathom it these days.
And you're a referee. Tell us how the refereeing was different. How they there was less interference as far as when the fight went on. The ref, I guess it was more.
What was allowed back then would people would get lawsuits for what would take place back then, basically, because if you look at some of the fights that we even have recorded, just the beatings that were dished out, a referee these days will have his license revoked for sure. Just thinking about what was allowed back then, because you didn't really, you did see TKOs, but it was common to see KOs more so because, hey, it wasn't just about if you had someone wobbly and dazed, it was about getting them out of there. And you think about some fights, there have been a number of fights that have gone there, but the one that I mentioned before that always got me in the boxing history was the likes of Jack Dempsey versus Jess Willard, and 7 knockdowns in the first round, and you just see the absolute beating that Jess Willard was taking. I mean, that would no way be allowed today. Maybe after that second or third knockdown, it would have ended, but that was an absolute beating. It was almost assault there in the ring, and the referee was the accomplice. So that just shows you the difference compared to now. And there were some nuances and stuff associated with it. So it all depended on the type of fighter and all that stuff. So you got away with a lot more. There were some points there were fighters in fights in which people held a lot more and they worked from that clinch, to their best. Jack Johnson being one famous for that. But, it was definitely a different sport, I would say. A different sport of fighting right there.
The referee had to be in some serious shape. Imagine having to run that many rounds with the fighter, bro. And
you had to, especially thinking about those fights where they were fighting out in the hot sun with no top cover or anything of that nature, which we see at times here, of course, for 12 rounds, but not as often as it was back then. As far as it's more scarce at this point, they're at least going to have some form of top cover. Think about the likes of Joe Gans battling Nelson, their famous fight that went, I believe, 42 rounds, and no top cover in the heat in Reno, Nevada, and they just kept going. And then you hear about stories of fights like Sugar Ray Robinson versus Joey Maxim and the referees had to be switched out. It was so hot out there, and one of the referees passed out essentially, and they had to replace this referee. This is just crazy in terms of the thought behind some of these older fights. It's insane. Salute Udis Fernandez. What's going on, buddy? How are you? Hope all is well. Glad to see you here for sure. Always down to talk some boxing history, baby.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Be sure to check out Skywalker channel. Feel free to drop your channel in the chat there, Skywalker too.
Put your link in. I connected your channel tonight, so my audience will come in and
okay, cool.
Learn some history tonight.
all right. Yeah, this was sort of impromptu, so no particular subject in history, but I was initially going to do a John L. Sullivan based stream, of course, but yeah, I was late in kind of getting it out of there. I didn't think I would be able to, as a matter of fact, because I had some other meetings or whatnot. But it's good to come on here and just chat boxing history in general. Salute to Justin James there. So salute to their Skywalker. Peace and blessings, champ. All right. Bazooka, Rolando, Dan dropping names out here for sure. Oh, can't hear you there, Skywalker. You might be muted. Or at least I can't hear you. Boza Edwards. Oh, yeah. Boza Edwards, another one that was in there, Bobby Chacon. Yeah, your sound dropped off there, Skywalker. I don't know if it's just for me, but it might be for some others as well. Let us know if you can hear Skywalker or not. I can't hear him right at this moment. Oh, yeah. Jose can't hear you either. Okay, he had to drop out of there. He'll be back in for sure. Skywalker, imagine how the gloves were back then. Yes, certainly. You're talking about 4-ounce, 6-ounce gloves, these individuals fighting. And then if you go back even further, there were points where they were wearing like skin-tight gloves, that type of stuff. Salute to my man Al Rahim right there, Pro Se Boxing. Salute to you there, brother. Appreciate you dropping by, of course. Talking boxing, history, really. Talking the history of the sport of boxing. Salute to you there, Bud Files in the mix here. Yep, we got Pro Se. Yes, sir, Bud Files. Dan says, BL did a show today on Fred Fulton. He had 70 KOs. Yeah, Fred Fulton, that was a punching beast right there. Certainly, I call him the GOAT White Hope right there because he was of that era and someone who would have challenged Jack Johnson, though that fight never materialized. But that being said, if you dig through the resume of Fred Fulton, you will see that he was a very formidable fighter and would be world heavyweight champion. It just so happened to coincide with Jess Willard, and that fight was never able to materialize outside of them doing an exhibition in which Fred Fulton dropped him. Had it happened, I'm of the mindset and belief that Fred Fulton would have been world heavyweight champion. He would have ended the reign of Jess Willard prior to Jack Dempsey. That being said, Jack Dempsey, I think, still would have become champion because he dispatched of Fred Fulton in a single round, basically. When they ultimately fought, he dispatched of him in one round. But it would have been a hell of a fight for that one. Well, had they met there as world champion, I'm sure that would have added a little bit of extra emphasis there. And maybe Fulton would have approached it different and been a bit more cautious heading into that first round with Dempsey. But ultimately, I think Dempsey would have prevailed in the same fashion as Harry Wills, another great champion who ultimately fought Fred Fulton and knocked him out as well. But that's a good one right there. So BO did something on Fred Fulton. Salute to that. Let's see what else there. Yo, afternoon. Cy Jim. Salute there, Cy Jim. Yeah, Skywalker dropped off. He should be coming back in here shortly. I think he had a connection issue that was in the fold there. I don't know if everyone tied to his channel was still here or not, but salute anyway. Yeah, he sounded muted there for a sec. Bruce Gas, what's going on with your Bruce Gas, Boxing Jazz and more? What's going on there with your buddy? Hope all is well on your end. Hey, be sure to go check him out, folks. For those that are here, check out Bruce Gas, Boxing Jazz and more. He does a number of quizzes and other stuff related to boxing history. He touches on some eras that I seldomly, if ever, touch on 70s, 80s, etc. But Bruce, a lot of institutional knowledge, I would say there. So salute to you there, Bruce, and always enjoy the quizzes that you have been putting on as of late. So big ups in that regard. Edith says, talking about history, what do you think about fans comparing current fighters to LOD, well, the other times or older days fighters like Pitbull, Tyson, Zepeda, Sanchez, etc.? Hey, I think there are some comps out there. There are some interesting comps for sure. I always try to think of that whenever I'm thinking about a particular fighter. That's something I thought about, just highlighting more essentially, like you have certain comps as fighters when you think about how they operated stylistically back in the day versus how some of these fighters operate today from a stylistic standpoint. And you tend to have certain comparables, I would say, as it relates to that. Skywalker back in the mix here. Appreciate you there, Skywalker. I was answering this question right here from Edith. It says, talking about history, what do you think about comparing current fighters to today's fighters? Like how Pitbull is compared to Tyson, Zepeda to Sanchez, etc. And I was saying that, I think that there are certainly comparables. For instance, when I think about the descriptions, etc., that are tied to the likes of Shakur Stevenson, I think about Tommy Ryan. As a matter of fact, I have a video of him on the channel, and I mentioned Tommy Ryan. He fought in the late 1800s, early 1900s, one of the great welterweights that the sport has seen, and he was elusive. He's a guy, he could get you out there, but that wasn't necessarily his strong suit. And he had great footwork, movement, knew how to avoid a fighter, etc. So you have comps that come about over the years, and I think it's fair to compare them. That can certainly help you as far as kind of getting a feel of how some fighters may have operated. That's just kind of my opinion on it. So I don't mind it there. It is in terms of comparing some to the older times, essentially.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think the science too, the sports science is different with the supplements and the way we work out. Like the guys are a lot bigger nowadays compared to back then. But still, you got weight classes for a reason. So these guys still had to make their weight too back then, right? Right, Josh? What was the deal with the weight classes back then?
Well, they varied. Some of the earlier days, it was a little bit different. Like, for instance, there was a point where lightweight was 133 pounds. And on any given day, they could change that. Middleweight was 152 pounds, for instance, or 154 pounds. It really varied just going back during those times as it was early on during the stages. And then eventually you saw it evolve to kind of where it is now as far as the weight classes that we're accustomed to. And, of course, there was a period where there weren't some of the weight classes, as we know, as far as not original weight classes. We didn't have the in-betweens, the juniors or supers, as far as the divisions were concerned. So if you think about that, especially when looking into and comparing the older fighters, like if you were a middleweight and you wanted to move up, it was light heavyweight, no choice, and those are the type of options. If you were a welterweight and you wanted to move up, it was middleweight. You didn't get the junior or super weight in between. You just had to do what you had to do. And if you were a light heavyweight, it was immediately heavyweight. So you could be 170 something pounds going to get someone 200 pounds or more,
So what Pacquiao did in current time, it was a normalcy back in the day. 8 division, technically, as far as putting on that much weight, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and it was pretty amazing. The thing that makes Pacquiao's run amazing is the fact that he was able to carry his power up to at least the welterweight division, because if I recall correct, he didn't knock anyone out when he fought at 152. I remember him fighting Margarito at 152, which essentially was 154, kind of catchweightish. And he didn't have as many knockouts at 147. So I think 147 was probably the peak of where he could reach with that power. But you have guys like Sam Langford, who was able to carry this power from lightweight essentially to heavyweight. Pacquiao came from a little lower, but Sam Langford's probably the standard as far as being able to carry power to a higher weight in a way that has been unseen, because even some of the greater fighters that we've seen in the history of the sport just couldn't carry their power in that same rate, in that same way. Al Rod says, from a physical standpoint, how do you think these fighters was able to fight so long? Can you touch on how these fighters trained back then, if you could? Yeah, some of them, they trained through techniques that you might see today. It was said that George Dixon invented shadow boxing. He was like kind of the first to do that. Then at some point it came along that people were working a heavy bag, etc. So they would have certain techniques and training methods that were comparable to what we see today, outside of maybe some things that might tie more to kind of HIIT training and more science-defined types of trainings that we've seen. And then from a supplemental standpoint, it might, certainly a little bit different here these days. But I think also when you're talking about some of the fights that went longer, fighters had to pace themselves in a different manner compared to, what they do today, because you were either gearing up for fights that were going extensive in rounds, and this was negotiated usually. And then there were fights that were fights to the finish. So you became accustomed to just kind of building yourself up in a way that would allow for you to kind of be adept to being able to last that distance. They did road work. That's something that was passed on. They worked on the actual technique, things of that nature. They were doing that back in the day as well, realistically. And it's still the case today. A lot of the institutional knowledge for boxing in itself was just passed down through history. So you had some of the greats, some of the great trainers, etc., that were working with other fighters. Those fighters would pass it on. Some of those great trainers would pass it on to others, and it would continue forward. So that's what helped to push the mark and help to get some of those older techniques out there. And I would say at this stage, and this is something I said before, there's nothing in the sport that hasn't been seen thus far from a technical standpoint. Despite the look and feel of a particular fighter, I don't think, and this is my opinion, I don't think there's anything in the sport now from a technical standpoint that hasn't been seen at any point in the past, essentially. You could argue some fighters are bigger, stronger, faster in some regards, but there were also some bigger fighters back then, some fast fighters, etc. back then. So some parallels, maybe some slight differences, but for the most part, the sport in itself, at the end of the day, if you look at it, fighting is fighting, two hands,
right?
Mano a mano, right there,
And and the human body is a trip, man. I'm a former Ranger, man, and Rangers they test us, man. They keep us up for days at a time, or we'd run miles, man. Ruck march, fucking far as fuck. You know what I mean? Like, we'd ruck for days, bro. You know what I'm saying? And when you get used to some shit, you get used to it, man. So I guess back then it was more hardcore, so you had to be hardcore. You know what I mean? You had to. Yeah, it's all mental, man. That's the majority.
Realistically, the biggest change in the sport of boxing here over the years, if you look at back in the day versus now, is safety. The standards are different. The safety standards are certainly better. The conditions are better. Everything is better from a ring perspective, even though there hasn't really been a ton of change to that. But just the rule sets, safety, the standards surrounding such, that is better just from an overall perspective. If you look at it in history. Dan mentions Tommy Ryan, welterweight to heavyweight, dominant fighter, did exhibitions till his 50s as he was training Jeffries, Corbett, Armstrong. No doubt about it there, Dan. No doubt about it. Just an all-time great fighter right there. And I think you don't understand it until you really start to look more into research on him, the history on him. He is one of those individuals, Dan, as you mentioned, that kind of defied odds in a sense. And he was a student of the game for sure. Very much different in the way he approached things. And that's what allowed him to stand out. And Tommy Ryan, he only had about 2 losses there I guess if you look at it from an official standpoint, just one of the greats that the welterweight division has seen. Edith says that there can be some stylistic similitudes, but saying Zepeda is the next Sanchez or Matthias the next Trinidad is complete. I completely disagree. Forgive my bad English. No. Hey, you're good there. Yeah, and I'm not saying they are the next version of them. I mean, from a stylistic visual standpoint, certainly. And I think that's what some may be viewing it from. You hear some saying, "Oh yeah, this guy's the next this and that." Certainly, I'm not saying that.
My uncle he was a volume. He was kind of like a Cepeda, you know what I mean? Kind of.
Yeah. Volume puncher.
Volume. Yeah.
Yeah, and you've seen those guys in the history of the sport there. So I'm with you there, Udis. So certainly there's some stylistic visual references that we can make where some guys have a similar look and feel to them as what we see here in modern times compared to history. Dempsey was one of those guys that Tyson kind of marveled at and kind of modeled himself after. They don't have the same visual look, but you can see some of the similarities in the way they look and kind of dress, in the simple toned and the high top buzz cut, essentially. But you look at, and it shows you how some parallels are. But if you really take a look at Floyd Patterson, who was trained by Cus D'Amato, and you look at Mike Tyson side by side, you will see very same visual techniques, because they both operate in that peekaboo style. They both could throw a left hook with damage to get a guy out of there. So this kind of shows you some of the parallels right there. If you haven't, take a look at Mike Tyson and take a look at Floyd Patterson, and you'll practically see almost the same fighter, except for Tyson being a bigger, stronger, faster version of Floyd Patterson. It's kind of crazy how I was saying how some of the histories parallel each other in some sense. Let's see here. We have there Skywalker showing love there. Lance Meyer, this is pretty impressive there, Lance.
But can anybody compare to his peekaboo style, man? Like that his body, the way it moved, bro. Like
I think about Patterson, kind of the early version of that, and I think that was from the teachings of Cus D'Amato. So I think he was probably the closest one. A lot of people compare him to Joe Frazier. They had a similar kind of build in some sense, though Tyson a bit more defined, a little bit bigger overall. But both of them work to get inside, essentially. But I would think just stylistic from a visual standpoint, freaking Floyd Patterson. But there is a light heavyweight, Jose Torres. He had a peekaboo style right there. He just put it in. He was tight with his defense. Jose Torres, former light heavyweight champion, world champion. He was someone who used the peekaboo style effectively, essentially, and was able to find a lot of success. But I think from a visual, just look and feel, Tyson, Patterson, they're pretty much close, almost identical in some sense with their technique. Jose says, I'll tell you, they didn't have a choice. Fighter get money, don't get money. Yeah, they were underpaid. Yeah, certainly. Hey, there was some craziness going on back then, and for sure with the purses, especially if you were a fighter of color. Hey, yeah, you didn't always get you tend to get the short end of the stick for the most part, unless things were controlled in a certain way. Yeah, that's kind of how it was back then for sure. Ghost 123, salute to you. Ghost 123 says Crawford ducking boots. Gotcha. Hey, Crawford at 154. Hey, I think that Boots, if he ultimately goes to 120, 154, that's where it happened for sure.
Hey,
that's
a time where no social media exists.
Right. That's Bulls 30 Acres, Jack Dempsey versus George Carpentier.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I know that photo for sure. And that was around 100 and something thousand. I can't remember if it was 120,000 or somewhere around there, close to 120,000. They set up that arena. The great Tex Rickard, probably the greatest boxing promoter the sport has seen, especially when you're tying in the historic aspect, because he was one of the ones to first envision just building stadiums or whatever for single events. And that just so happened to be one of them. And my dog is there tripping. Hey, stop.
Say,
She's looking out the window. But essentially, that photo that you just saw, Balls 30 Acres, that Dempsey Carpentier fight, I did a video on that. It's on the channel. I call it Jack Dempsey, How to Make $1 Million.
Yeah, because that's the first $1 million gate. It was like over 90,000 seats that were filled, but they still have people sitting in the field, bro. So that's more than 91,000 people. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, it was. I think it ended up being ultimately more than that.
Seats were filled up 91,000 plus on the outside of it. I mean, first $1 million gate right there. That's how you make $1 million right there, guys. But
how make $1 million there, baby?
So many people back then without social media. How do they do that?
Hey, that word carried. See, Jack Dempsey, he came at the right time where he was one of the ones who was able to have a style that was visually pleasing right at the time that the motion picture film type stuff started to take off, where you could go and watch boxing matches at theaters, etc. in the aftermath of the contest. So Jack Dempsey was one of the first to really capitalize on that, because film had been around, but as it got more transit, just so happened to come at a time with Jack Dempsey and a style that was catered towards offense and knocking people out. And that's what got a lot of people geared up and behind him. That little tidbit in that video, that was actually, there was a radio broadcast that went 250 miles and just happened to be the company RCA. So that's what got them their claim to fame right there. RCA, which I know we're familiar with. So they were the only radio broadcast company that would take this fight, and then from there things took off and they became a multi-million-dollar company, etc., and tended to grow. So if you remember or if you know or are familiar with RCA, they're still around.
How good was the fight for the fans though? Was it an amazing fight?
It was a good fight, I would say. It said that Dempsey took it a little easy on Carpentier in the first portions of the contest because of the fact that he was told to let it go a little bit longer, because realistically Dempsey could have blitzed Carpentier and knocked him out fairly easy, but he chose to let it go on a little longer, and Dempsey ended up getting caught with a shot himself, and he was like, okay, at this point, no, I can no longer risk just trying to take it a bit easier. That's the saying, at least. But when Dempsey really went for it and wanted to knock him out, he was able to do so. I think it was the 4th round. So it went about 4 rounds, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. But first ever $1 million gate. And then I can't remember the exact numbers, but I know it was the equivalent of the purses, with inflation and all of that stuff, was about $300 and something thousand for Dempsey at that particular time. Yeah. And then somewhere in 150-ish thousand for Carpentier for those contests, which was amazing, just given the time that they were in. Yeah. But that doesn't even include the
cheeseburger for less than a nickel back then.
Yeah, right. And that didn't include the radio broadcasting rights. They had those as well. So who knows how much they ultimately made. Lance Meyer says, my God, I didn't realize Langford had so many different divisions. Cheers there, Lance Myers. Yes, sir. Yes, indeed. Langford started around lightweight, and I always make the mistake of saying he didn't fight for a world title, but he did fight for a world title against Joe Gans. Langford was in with, as far as the 2 best resumes in boxing history, as far as I'm concerned, they are Sam Langford, Harry Greb. And Sam Langford, he fought Joe Gans, I believe, a lightweight title, or I could be wrong. So my buddy Random would know. The lightweight title may or may not have been online. I know he wasn't on the weight, but for sure, or that might not have been the case for the lightweight, but for sure for the welterweight against Barbados Joe Walcott, I believe the title was on the line and Langford didn't make weight. Or I could have it reversed, something like that. But Langford, man, he was able to rise up to divisions and ultimately, man, became a stellar performer at heavyweight. And then some people don't know at times, at least I've seen from my channel, is that Langford and Jack Johnson actually fought. Langford was a middleweight at the time, and Jack Johnson was already operating at heavyweight for the most part. And Johnson was able to win what was regarded as a competitive fight against Sam Langford at that particular time. But of course, when Johnson became world heavyweight champion, he refused to fight. Sam Langford at that time. So that's one of the things that is one to know. How do you pace yourself for 100 rounds? My God, yeah. Hey, I don't know there. I don't know. It's a different type of fighter right there. Definitely. That hook, etc. Salute that to Irene. Hey, and Pro Se exists today in boxing, so the sport is better. Yes, indeed. Pro Se boxing. If you're looking to apply your trade, you need the gloves to do so. Pro Se boxing, baby. That's the way to go right there. Salute to Al Rahim. Check it out. Pro Se boxing. All you have to do is Google it, folks. If you haven't heard, Google it. Pro Se boxing. PROSE boxing. You'll see that diamond. Diamonds are forever. If you haven't heard, they are forever.
You see the diamond at a lot of places, man. A lot of people are starting to recognize the brand. So that's tight.
Oh, yes, certainly. I've seen it here in DC for sure. Yeah. I can say for certain I've seen it here in the district.
It's growing.
So that's a good thing.
We're pushing for Pro Se.
That's a good thing. Lance Meyer. Langford fought Joe Jeanette 14 times. Yes, insane right there, Lance. And he fought, look at the amount of times that he fought Harry Wells. Insane right there. Insane. Yeah. That was a crazy amount of time. To look at Sam Langford as well. And then Jeff Clark. So a number of fighters that Langford fought an insane amount of time. Yo, that's called residual income in those days. Society, if they could make that happen. No, most certainly. You had to fight to get paid for sure. Mike Tyson doesn't get enough credit for his defense head moving, and he would get inside and throw bombs from the southpaw stance. So, hey, Mike Tyson, hey, he knew how to get that left hook in there for sure. Hey, he's one of the elites in terms of that visual and then just technique-wise as far as where he was at from an overall perspective for sure.
Spotted your co-host has popped in, man. The Boz man.
Salute to your Boz. I haven't even got down there yet. These things are coming. Winky. Oh, yeah, Winky Wright. I think you're talking about that peekaboo stand. Winky Wright, one of my favorites right there. The way he popped that jab out for that peekaboo stand, Winky was on it. He just bringing it up. Just this up. Yeah. Man, Winky Wright, one of the greats we've seen. Hall of Famer right there for sure. Doesn't often get mentioned. Salute to you there, James. Bringing up my man, Winky Wright. Holding it down, Washington, D.C. right there, you know. Washington, D.C. Winky, salute to Winky. Yeah, he's one of my favorites personally to have watched. And, man, amazing. Go check out some of those fights you haven't seen. Fernando Vargas, a fight he should have won. Yeah. What he was able to do to Shane Mosley, I mean, is insane. This dude, when he peaked, next level. Next level for sure.
That's Ren. Shout out to the Philippines.
Hey, Bruce Gass says his dog got nailed by a skunk last night. Still stinks like a big bag of kush.
Man, he got in your cushion, was eating it, Bruce. That's what happened. It ain't the skunk. It's your
Bruce.
You done ate about half pound of your shit, bro.
I bet that stinks right there, Bruce. You know, just from my perspective, certainly that had to stink for sure. Rodolfo said, I wonder how they got the arrow shot at the stadium. Hot ever low. Hey, maybe Blint or something. I don't know if the Blint was around then, but yeah, something. Hey, who knows? There was a good shot right there. You just get to see the amount of people. That one in the Soldier Field picture when Dempsey fought Tunney the first time. Another one where the shot of the stadium is amazing. Yeah, big money for sure. For sure there, James. Let me see here. I had dropped back on some things. Skywalker there on Facebook right there.
Not there. It's one of my friends from out here. Shout out to the Jim family. They're a cool family out there for my wife's reservation.
Boz, what's going on, my brother? Boz there. Yeah, we haven't been able to do a show in a good little minute. We were talking about doing one yesterday. Salute there to you, Boz. Hey, you can always hop on if you're down to hop on. Of course, there, Boz.
Tell us about your vacation, Boz. Come on.
Or anyone for that matter. Hey, you want to talk about history?
Where's the Bruce man at?
There it goes, folks. You want to talk some boxing history? Come drop on. Salute there to your Boz, of course.
We'll keep your history, man.
Rahim said Josiah Giles in Pro Se. Yep, I got to see him fight here in DC, as a matter of fact. So salute to Al Rahim, right
Yeah.
there. Definitely, that's a big
James,
thing.
I have big news on that, man. I see a comment from James that just popped in. I have full press credentials for that fight, man. I'll be working that fight. You'll see me with some good content, man. I'll be working with Mo Boxing, no problem. If you guys haven't heard, subscribe to his channel. It's a great channel. So yeah, I'll be working. I have an interview tomorrow with Josh. We're gonna interview some fighters that are gonna be on that card. So yeah, I'm already putting in that work. I got to meet up with some fighters at the gym this week, get some more content. So I'm covering it.
Awesome. That's good stuff. Yeah, gonna be on the lookout for that for sure. That's gonna be a good card and a good main event right there that should be competitive.
Yeah, very competitive. I think Angelo Leo could do it, man. But
I like Bernardo Lopez. He just has a interesting, awkward style that is pleasing to watch for me, at least. You know,
Yeah.
he's built for it and he's ready. This is his time right now, seemingly. So hey, he's been on it. Mr. Double R. James said, "Yo, Scalca, I believe Albuquerque is going to getting a top ranked fighter coming up." Okay.
No, that's a fight. The whole fight card that's coming to Albuquerque. It's the first time since it's a big deal, bro. We even have a civil war. Like the guy we're interviewing tomorrow is an undefeated flyweight. He's right next to Vince in the rankings. His name's Matthew Griego, the Diamond Boy.
Oh yeah, I remember telling him.
Abraham the Hammer Pettis. And that fight, it's gonna be at Tingley Coliseum. It's the first time since Romero and Tapia, bro. Since we've had a big promotion come to Albuquerque. So yeah, man, Bob Arum's gonna come to Albuquerque. We're gonna get the the top. Yo, Albuquerque gets crunk, man. We love fights, man. We're gonna fill the tickets are already selling out. So it's gonna be good, man. I'm gonna be getting good content, man. I'll be in the locker room with Venado, I guess. I got the
awesome
Venalo's team, so I'll be getting some good content from the champ.
Hey, that's pretty dope right there. No, we'll be looking forward to that. Most definitely. Salute Rough Riders returns. Salute that to you.
Yeah, salute, brother.
Raheem in August. Okay, another time. Yeah, that's gonna be a fight. Oh, Josiah, is he coming back to DC? There's an August 3rd show. I'm trying to get out there to that. Davis Promotions here in DC. Jordan Short Dog White, trying to get him on. I'll let you know there for sure. Coach Chading, what's going on, Coach?
Coach Green. Chading in the ring with Coach Green.
Just got done with my core. Respect everyone. Salute to you. Yeah. Salute to you. Hey, put in that work for sure.
He's gonna be at the fight too, the top rank fight. He's gonna be there.
Yeah. All right, Boz. If you're heading out of here, Boz. But appreciate you there, buddy. Hey, we'll be back in the mix here. But no, that's good. Hey, that should be a good fight, though. What you're doing there, Skywalker. I'm gonna be tuning in for sure. I can listen there. I'll chop it up about it for days, though. Hey, salute there to you, Lance Meyer, for sure. Good luck and keep up the good work.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Side Jim. Salute to your Side Jim.
Yeah, kiss. Young Hitler, salute, brother.
Young Hitler, salute to you there.
Him and his wife got a good YouTube channel. They DJ music and do song requests and
okay,
cool place.
Young Hitler, I'm gonna check you out there, Young Hitler.
Yeah, it's his wife, Randy Jean. That's her channel, Randy.
Oh, okay, I remember her coming into your live for sure. Okay, that's awesome.
Kui, the family's in the house.
Kui. Salute to you, Kui.
Familia.
Just Boz says, how about that Evanesian fight? Weird the way Evanesian just suddenly quit. Yeah, apparently he had a broken jaw or something of that nature. Yeah, but Boots was giving it to him. Hey, Boots look way bigger for sure.
Yeah, he's a big welterweight, bro. Boots is
he is for sure. And it was very apparent in that contest right there. So Boots, hey, nice with it for sure. Crawford, yeah, I think that's still a challenge for him for sure. But hey, no doubt he's nice. And there at 147, I don't really see anyone beating him right now.
Yeah.
Skywalker. Oh yes. Since it's a loop, so there, James says for those that aren't going, every penny is worth buying floor seats. Certainly, there, James. I'd imagine. Yeah.
I'll be on press row. I guess should be some decent seats, I guess.
No, that should be good. That should be on point right there.
I'll be able to get the ring walks. I'll be able to get in the locker room. So I'll be getting some content. I got the new GoPro, so we gotta get my wife in
Okay.
action. I'm gonna try to get professional. I'm gonna go to Best Buy and buy me a little microphone and shit, bro.
Oh yeah, you get to pick up some of
Yeah.
those sounds for sure. It makes a difference when it gets a little crazy back there. You're in the media section for sure.
I did
Quick
it for
Quick, once again, shout out to you, Quick Quick. Go subscribe to her. She goes live. I've been able to tune in to a number of them, even though I don't say anything often. I've tuned in for sure there. Quick Quick, but salute, making it happen. Al Rahim says Skywalker. We talk about Pro Se fight gloves getting approved in
New Mexico.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Gotta work on it, bro. I know some good fighters, man. We could put in them.
Oh yeah, certainly. New Mexico. Hey, I got to get out there. I haven't spent a ton of time on the West Coast. I've been to Arizona, California, as far as West Coast is concerned, but I need to get out there a bit more for sure. Would you consider that West Coast? I guess it's not really the coast, but it's near there.
Southwest, because we're not there's no water. We're no water. We're desert. We're the mountains, bro.
yeah.
Nice, man. I kind of live in the northern area, so like I can go to the mountains and they got streams and it's nice, bro. If you're into that kind of stuff, like trout fishing and all that. You like elk hunting and all that shit. It's good out here. But it's
oh yeah. Hey, you're funny there, Bob. I haven't heard of that cat. Hitler. That's crazy. He does. Hey, Hitler did for sure. Y'all have a good evening. Love to be here with y'all. Much love. Salute there to you, Side Jim. I appreciate you dropping by there.
Come by the YouTube channel, Side Jim. There's a lot more people in here.
Yes, sir. Yeah, hey, we appreciate you.
He's kind of dead, bro. I don't know. Sometimes I get a lot if I'm showing a
Tupac
fighter.
back. What's going on, Tupac 13?
I gotta put my link in or your link.
What's good with you? Quick in the mix again. Appreciate you. Hey, you are appreciated there. Quick. 2513 showing some love there. Rodolfo, you know about New Mexico United.
I'm gonna break down a little something about that. The United's very good team. They have a big following here in Albuquerque, great fan base. The politics with that shit though is bad, Rodolfo, bad because they're trying to build a stadium for them, which everybody doesn't mind, but they're trying to put them in a fucked up spot where if you go to the game, you're going to have a hard time with traffic, bro. It's going to take you an hour to leave that place or an hour and a half to leave it. Just the way it's a balloon fiesta. It's like, it's one road in, bro. It's always horrible. The traffic, they have to get police to shut down shit. It's a big headache, bro. So they need to find a better site for that, man. They're having a big arguments, man, with that right now.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting for sure.
Yeah, politics, man. Yeah, we got our crime is hella bad, bro. So we got a lot of people saying that we should spend money on fighting crime versus they want to build it. It's nice for the city.
Yeah.
We have a baseball team. We have college football. We have college basketball. We don't have a pro. That's our pro soccer team, but they share the stadium with the baseball team, and it's too small. And they do more numbers, man. They have a big following, but yeah, man, that
would be the only pro team, right?
Yeah,
that'd be a good look. Maybe MLS would be next.
They fuck shit up though. You can ask Rodolfo; they're like really talented, man. Our team, I don't know, they're really good, bro.
That would be I'd imagine that'd be a pretty solid look there, especially with the fact that MLS is growing.
Yeah.
So.
They're one of the top teams. I'm telling you, they upset everybody.
I guess they're USL.
Yeah.
So no, that would be a good look. They built probably about 5-6 years ago. They built the actual soccer field here in DC, and I think it was for the better because where they were playing previously, you didn't get the right feel from it because it was an old RFK Stadium where the Redskins used to play, and it's really done in. It's about to be tore down at some point. I know they got approval for demolition, but that changes things and that gets interest right there. So, very interesting for sure. All right, Side Jim.
There he is.
Salute Champ Ross in the mix here. Says up 86 Skywalker. Salute to you, Champ Ross. What's going on with you there, buddy? Hey, go join his prediction league there on Facebook. Hey, feel free to drop that in the chat there, Champ Ross, because hey, always enjoy that right there. I feel like I'm about to make a run, Champ. I just feel it. I feel it in the bones. Yo, good, brother Maine. Psycho Jim, what's going on, Psycho Jim? Appreciate you dropping by. Rodolfo says, I saw someone with a New Mexico United jersey when I went to the Cops. Oh, yeah, Copa America, random but funny. That is pretty funny. Showing love, representing for sure.
I want to bring that Copa up real quick. I know you were watching it. I ended up watching it too, bro.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I turned on Shakira, and once you told me Shakira was on, because that's my girl right there.
It's pretty crazy how it ended, right?
Yeah. And my wife is mad dogging me and shit. I'm like, damn, there's Shakira. She looks fucking good. She's older than me too. I'm 42, man. She's like 50, man. And I'm like, damn, she looks fucking. She's better than J-Lo, bro. She don't age for shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I wouldn't have even thought such. That's crazy.
Yeah, but she did her thing. But then I felt bad for all the fans, bro. I don't know if you heard, but a lot of people lost a lot of fucking money, and then shit got vandalized. Like their escalator got destroyed. Trash.
Oh, I saw that. I did see a picture of that escalator. It's like effed up.
Yeah, and then people were out like 20,000, 4,000. Imagine losing, like you spent all your money, because I spend money on a boxing match. I'll go and I'll spend $1,000 on a floor ticket. You know what I'm saying? And I want a good fight. I want to be right there, bro. I want to be there with the stars.
Oh yeah, certainly.
Nosebleed. You know, I like to get the good tickets. And
yeah, nothing like it.
But imagine not being able to go to an event and spending $4,000 for a ticket. What the fuck?
Well, yeah, I know that they had a mad rush at the gate or something, and then that delayed it because it was supposed to start at 8 p.m. and ended up starting at 9 p.m.
People were hopping it, bro. They were sneaking in like crazy, and I fucked up everybody. They shut the whole thing down to where nobody could get in.
That's pretty crazy that happened. But yeah, that was insane because they kept delaying it. And I was like, oh my, that's insane. But yeah, I saw the pictures you were mentioning. I saw the escalator that was jacked up, a bunch of other stuff, trash and all that stuff there. That's pretty crazy, you know. I guess it seems like they weren't prepared, or maybe they didn't think it would be as many people as it was or something like that. Would it being hosted here? But man, that's pretty crazy and unfortunate for sure.
Yeah, that's fucked up, you know. And it's in America. You would think this shit would happen in fucking Colombia or down south where there's not that much laws. And what's going on lately, bro? Security's been failing lately, bro. You know what I mean?
Right. In more ways than one. For sure.
Another one. I don't do that on my boxing channel.
But no, I know what you said. Yeah, they have been. Hey, scamming stuff.
And I was like, yeah, man, I'm trying to watch boxing. I don't watch no fucking.
It's insane. It's insane.
I know crazy shit's happening nowadays, but yeah, man, I'm trying to fuck up my event.
Yeah, crazy. Just about to shame the Janibek fight got canceled. Yeah, that is unfortunate. He's gonna have to move up to 160, I guess. If you're struggling that bad, right there.
That's a bad look on. Bro, you know what? I never agreed with him, bro. He has a lot of back acne. Janibek, he's kind of suspect. I'm not saying that he uses PEDs. I don't know, but that's just,
I hadn't seen that.
I have a clue, bro. You know, like.
But that's interesting, though.
People juice. That's what happens to their back, bro. Their back gets a lot of pimples.
That is pretty interesting. I didn't know that, but that's pretty interesting. I will say. That is pretty darn interesting right there. But yeah, so apparently, I wonder how long it's been a struggle for him to get down. And it just so happens his body rejected it this time, I guess.
Yeah.
Insane. Hey, Skywalker Boxing channel right there. Be sure to follow that, folks, especially if you're coming here on my channel, I guess you could say. And follow Skywalker Boxeo right there.
In my chat, bro. Okay. Let me do that. I'm going to pin it.
Salute.
So you guys subscribe to 86.
California, best climate out here. Hey, yeah, that's what they say. Except for the mudslides and all that stuff there, Dan. Psycho Jim in the building. Salute to you there, Psycho Jim. Shout out to my man Just Buys. Drop some NOK up in the building. Yeah. 25 NOK. That's Norwegian currency, I'm guessing. Maybe that's what the NOK means, Norwegian currency. Currency with the K. Salute there to you. Hey, Boz, you are appreciated there, buddy. Hey, there's something I like about you there, Boz. You know, I've always liked a little something about you right there. You just topped it off right there, my friend. I appreciate you there. Real talk there, boss. We haven't we haven't been able to do the live in a good while, but hey, I appreciate you there, my friend. You know, say hello. But no, salute to boss there once again, showing some love.
Yeah.
In the mix here.
Get in the different currency, bro. Like, man, that's awesome, bro.
Oh yeah, feel free to drop. That's pretty awesome. Feel free to drop that link, Champ Ross. No doubt. Hey, it's all good. Rodolfo said Shakira older than I thought. Yes, she is. She's older than I thought too. 47. But hey, she did a good job. I thought with that little performance she did there at the halftime. You know, she still moves pretty well, so she's good to go. And I would say she looks good for her age, for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Just Bob says, sorry, no big fights in the next 2 weekends. I got to look up what the schedule's looking like. Yeah, I'd imagine. I guess it's not anything of significance, I'm guessing. But yeah, we'll see what's up. People with tickets weren't able to enter the stadium. The tickets cost thousands. That's insane there, Rodolfo. I mean, that's a failure on the part of the handlers, I guess, in some sense. It's unfortunate. Certainly unfortunate, especially if you paid money to get in there and you weren't able to get into the Copa America, and it seemed to be packed as far as the stadium's concerned. But to know that people who paid for tickets weren't able to get in there and it was still jam-packed, insane.
Yeah.
Insane, just overall. It says, guys, what do you think about people saying the clinch should be penalized or even removed from boxing because it makes fights boring? Oh no, interesting. I think it happens at times. It doesn't happen all the time. Hey, my dog trying to get out the door there, but it's she can open doors, especially if it's a handle there. But that one's a turn, so she can't open it necessarily. But she'll try. But yeah, I think it's one of those things. It happens. The clinch has always been a part of the sport. Removing it is going to require the officials to be pretty much on point at every single instance, but I don't know. I think trying to remove it from an overall sense alters the game in a way, but as an official, you try to prevent the clinch from actually happening. And I guess I'll say that, yeah, you never know in terms of how that could turn out. Yeah, I don't know if there's a full-fledged solution. I guess you could penalize more, but right now I think it depends on the fight because we do see fights where it doesn't happen as much.
I don't think it should get taken. The clinch is important, man. It gives you a chance to recover from a shot.
If you're hurt, for sure.
Yeah, definitely, man. If you're hurt, it gives you an opportunity to still stay in the game, and I think that shouldn't change. They shouldn't change the sport. You know what I'm saying? They should create a new sport if they want to change that shit. But I think excessive clinching, they should be the officials should be a little bit more stricter. Yeah, definitely. You don't want to see fucking people holding on. You want to see people get knocked out. You want to see people finish their work, right? So,
yeah.
But you got to give them a little chance. You got to give them a chance to clinch, break them up.
Yeah.
Let him clinch again, break him up, tell him warn his ass, right? And then you can warn him.
Yeah, and I don't know that you can fully remove it, you know what I'm saying? Because of the fact that because it's gonna be a natural occurrence. You get hurt, of course you're gonna want to grab, and you know, it's up to the referee to kind of break that up or whatnot. But yeah, removing it completely, I don't know if they can. They removed it from the perspective of, or at least it was reduced from comparisons to what it was back in the day, certainly. Yeah, I don't know if you can remove it completely from the game.
Right. Be stricter though.
So, but very interesting right there. Very interesting. Salute there. A1HZ. I don't know if I'm saying that right, or if it's another way.
A1 Hoop Zone. You gotta subscribe. That's my.
Oh, okay. A1 Hoop Zone.
He covers the NBA, and man, he has a great channel, man. He's
salute there to you, A1 Hoop Zone. Gonna have to check you out there for sure. Hey, y'all follow the NBA?
Hell yeah.
I want to check this out.
Drop your link, brother.
Just Bob says, I bet Tank don't want the Pitbull rematch. Hey, you never know. You never. There'll be an interesting one for sure.
Yeah.
Certainly be an interesting one.
Follows boxing too, but I mean NBA on his channel, but he knows his boxing.
A1 Hoop Zone. All right, that's good stuff there. Gonna check you out there, A1 Hoop Zone for sure. Just Bias mentions with Janibek gone, Adames will probably take over 160. Yeah, I would have liked to have seen Janibek versus Adames. That seemed like the probably logical fight as far as the two potential best of the division right there. Maybe we don't get to see that, or maybe Janibek. I don't know if he's able to right the ship or not, but it'll be cool to see that one. But yeah, we'll see. Or what if they both move up? It's interesting for sure. But yeah, certainly one going to the waist there if it doesn't happen. Carlos Quadras always had the bad acne too. Oh yeah, I know Carlos, Mr. Superfly.
Call it the back.
Mexican fighter right there.
Good fighter.
Quadras is nice.
Bam kind of how to get through him, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Bam, call him the legend killer, like Randy Orton, I guess.
Yeah.
Gaming with Flyhopper. Salute. What was that, Skywalker?
That's the moment we knew Bam was special, bro. Was when he defeated.
Oh yeah.
Remember, everybody's like, "Oh shit, this is Bam."
Yeah. Yes, sir. He's indeed special, pound for pound talent, no question. Gambling with Flyhopper, salute to you there, buddy. How do you know about boxing? Hey, salute to you there. Skywalker dropped that channel in the chat. Check that out, folks. You see the channels dropped in there. Be sure to check them out for sure. Showing some love for sure. Croner Josh. It's funny. Any of you guys are welcome here for a visit. Indeed. Dan says Fred Fulton had 70 KOs by oh yes, indeed. Josh and their vibes. Hey, you're good to go there, Boz. It's all good. Yeah. Shaver 70, Fulton 70, Foreman 68. Wow, that's crazy. The amount of knockouts they had. Heavyweights. These are all heavyweights right here. Fulton was 6'5". He's a big dude. For sure. There's a video out there of him and Dipsy at an older age. You just see how big that Fulton was. Dipsy's about 6'1", 6'2"-ish. Right. So Fulton just looked bigger. They're glaringly bigger. So that speaks to how he was. He was legit knockout artist right there. I have a video of him on the channel. Look up Fred Fulton. I think if you search on YouTube Fred Fulton in general, it will pop up, I'm sure. I don't know if it's the first thing to pop up, but it will pop up. You'll learn a little bit more about him. One of the GOATs.
My in the heavyweight. 49 knockouts. That's pretty good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
49.
Yeah, that's not bad either.
Out of 59 fights, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you're on there, bud. Yep, you're right. Longest reach too by there. Seeing mentioned. Champ Ross says, I agree the clinch is important, and for savvy veteran who knows how to use it to his advantage. For sure. Salute there, D Ray live on the drive. Check him out, folks. Salute there to you, D Ray.
He's over there in he's Omaha, man, out there with Bud Crawford.
Omaha, Nebraska. Hey, that's what's up right there. Omaha. All right, haven't been in Nebraska.
When the Spence Crawford tension was building back in the day, bro, I felt bad for him, bro, because he was from Omaha. You know, he was chilling with all these Texas heads, bro, and they were mean to him, bro.
I'd imagine so.
Spence, man, I was fucking with him a lot, but I was always good, man. You know, I never took it personal.
Yeah. Pretty messed up, but it was an intense little rivalry.
Yeah.
Build up, you know.
I always like Crawford, bro. I can't hate on Crawford, you know, just because he likes Spence.
Yeah, no doubt. Hey,
big rivalry right there. That was a split right there between the community right there.
Yeah, it was. I was always team Crawford in terms of I felt that Crawford would get the better in if they fought each other. I didn't expect it to go like it did, for sure. But very interesting one. But you could, flip a coin in some sense, just given what each of them did well.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm glad we got it, because far too often there have been cases where we didn't get those fights,
Yeah,
A1 Hoop Zone. Hey, appreciate you as well. A1 Hoop Zone, folks. Check them out. You see the name there, A1HZ, repping TWT, A1 Hoop Zone. Let me see here. Dempsey was a menace. No doubt about it there, boys. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Hey, appreciate the support there. A1 Hoop Zone, Dan says, but he knew how to get the money. Name of the game. Yeah, Dempsey responsible for the first $1 million gate and the first $2 million gate when he fought Gene Tunney, that is. So, yeah, big timer right there. Big timer as far as money maker. You know, he reached one of those pinnacle type levels right there globally from a mega star standpoint. Dempsey is one of them. John L. Sullivan was one of them. Jack Dempsey was probably the second. Muhammad Ali, though a lot of that came a little bit later on. I mean, freaking Mike Tyson. There have been some others who've gotten out there as well. But those, I'm thinking about heavyweights right now, those are certainly those that have been there on that level. D-Ray Live, for sure, for sure. Big Fish. All right, salute there, D-Ray Live. Representing, is Tim W. Jr. gonna fight Hasim Jr.?
Man, that fell through. It almost happened. It almost happened, boss. But man, Hasim wanted to fight me, bro. Hasim Jr. was going at me.
Yeah.
It went crazy. Bruce was calling him up, and he was all cussing us out, bro.
I remember you let me hear that.
Tim Jr. and said he had better opportunities, which those opportunities I never seen them come. You know what I'm saying? But
I guess they dried up.
They dried up, but yeah, it's gone, bro. It's gone. We tried to make that fight happen, and we were gonna try to make Tim Witherspoon Sr. fight Hasim Rahman Sr., bro. Yeah, and then you know what I mean? Set it up.
Yeah.
Legends, man. We're gonna make a fight card, bro. But
hey, that would have been like a first, right?
Yeah.
Father son duos going at it. That would have been funny.
Would have been great.
Funny. Tim so it's dead for now, there, boss.
Tim was coming off a knockout too because he did a celebrity boxing, bro. Remember with the
yeah.
So
yeah, that would have been interesting for sure.
Yeah.
Salute to ATX 41 Red Slab Life.
Slab Life. He's out there, they be popping trunks and driving and swerving
down for Texas. Yeah. Swangers.
Subscribe to his channel. He's got all them cool
blades. Hey, I came up on the Texas music there. You know what I'm saying? There, ATX 41 Red. All my people, I still listen to some of it. You know, I know about all them cats down there. Chameleonaire, Power Wall, of course, Slim Thug, 50-50 Twin, Kuda Bang, Archie Lee, Swisher House. You know, the whole Swisher House crew. Talking about Lil Kiki.
Grew up to that too.
You name it. You name it. Hey, I know about that. I know about that right there. I'm from Arkansas originally, so hey, that was right there where we're at. ESG.
Yeah.
Man, I could go on. Tum.
Yeah.
DSR. You know what I'm saying? That boy, Fat Bastard. You just name it. I was older. I'm telling you.
Those mixtapes. Remember back in the day? And
yeah, it used to be on that for sure. So salute there to you, ATX Red Slab Life. Already.
Yeah.
I see you down there for sure. Oh yeah, Dan says Jack Johnson. Don't forget Josh. Oh yeah, it is right. Jack Johnson for sure. Just by says Run Loud hit very hard too. Oh yes, he did. You saw he had saw what he was able to do with George Foreman, rocking him, socking him with George Foreman before going out. Jack Johnson definitely knew how to make money there, Dan. Hey, he played into it perfectly, you know. He made you love to hate him in many regards. Hey, he was about that moolah. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. So Jack Johnson, one of the greats, former world heavyweight champion. Salute to Scrapbook Boxing. Says 86 picture you, brother. Hello to the members of your guests. Glad to see you, 86. How are you and your family? Hey, all is well. Hope all is well there on your end. Scrapbook Boxing. Folks, if you don't know Scrapbook Boxing, you want to talk history, I come on here and I talk about history, but I don't know the history like my man Scrapbook Boxing. So he is one most certainly you got to check out right there. Scrapbook Boxing. He was going through the entire history of boxing on his channel. So you'll learn a great deal just from checking out Scrapbook Boxing, and I've checked out his stuff, and I learned so much from Scrapbook Boxing right there that I gotta send salutes, regards, all that good stuff. So those that are on here right now, go subscribe to Scrapbook
Legend.
Boxing.
Great channel, guys. I'm
Scrapbook Boxing. Hey, Tim knows there. Hey, Scrapbook Boxing, a true historian of the sport. And man, hey, I can't even explain it all. Some of the people he's interacted with, spoken with there, just that tie back to history, next level. I'm telling you there, Scrapbook Boxing. Hey, you want to learn something? Go check them out. History, baby. History. Has I seen Ruffin Jr. fight recently? I remember him being on one of those little Misfits cards. I don't know if you remember that, Skywalker. That's like the YouTubers and all that stuff.
Yeah, he was doing that. He was doing Team Combat League too, man.
Yeah, I remember him doing that. Yeah, I think the Misfits thing might have been a little bit after that, but I remember seeing him on Team Combat because he was on the DC team here. I don't know if he's on there now.
What's his brother's name? His brother's really good, bro.
I don't even know.
Muslim boxer, bro. The Muslim boxer. That's his nickname, the Muslim boxer. They have a different last name. He has a different last name, but it's his brother.
Yeah, you gotta let me know because I don't recall.
He's good, bro. Yeah, Hartford interviews him all the time. I know his nickname, bro, for sure. But his dad's, it's Mustan Kaysan. Kaysan. That's his brother, bro, or cousin, one of the two.
I don't know if I've seen them or not. Or I know they're out of Bmore. I don't often go to all the Bmore. Well, many of the Bmore shows. They probably should, but
his brother.
Yeah, check him out then.
He's 12-0, 9 KOs.
Oh, Mustan Kaysan. Okay. I gotta check him out. Check him out for sure. For sure. Yeah, I don't think I've seen him. Well, I don't know. I wonder if I've seen him in the What the Hell. I didn't even know it. But interesting, for sure. I'm going to check him out. Mustan Kaysan. Okay. Edith says about the clinch, I think it's also the other fighter's responsibility to not get clinched or respond to get out of it like Benavidez, Plant, or others like that. Yeah, certainly. Certainly. There's a mixed bag as far as how that goes and all that stuff, you know. Great having Scrap here, says Dan. Quick, love that Scrapbook Boxing. Indeed. Hey, if you don't know, everybody knows Scrapbook holds it down for sure. So much to learn right there. Keeping it 100, you know. Yes, sir. D-Ray Live, everybody knows. Yeah, peace to you there, Scrapbook. Appreciate you dropping by for sure. Just by B-Hop was the master of clinching and used it to subdue his opponent, plus a few other dirty tricks. Yes, he was very much versed in the game for sure. He knew all the tricks of the trade right there. Bernard Hopkins, the alien, the executioner. Yeah, he was a beast with it for sure. The oldest ever world champion at this stage, you know. Been subbed to him for years. Okay, good stuff there, Kiki. Yes, sir. He was in that mix. Yeah. So he's on it. Salute to you, Joshua Woods, my fellow Joshua right there. Always down to talk boxing history right there, Joshua. Check him out, folks. Knowledgeable individual right there. Knowledgeable. Joshua always down for some history talk and all that stuff, and we love it. We love it there. Salute to Pearl Sir dropped in. Salute to that Pearl Sir. Yes, sir. Indeed. Holding it down. Pearl Sir. Hey, check him out. Subscribe to Pearl Sir, folks. Think we need to undo the thumb of the glove and bring wrestling back into boxing. That's funny there, Joshua Wood. Hey, that would take it to another level for sure. Sometimes we get a little bit of that.
Fighting the clinching is different. They let them really clinch, bro, and fucking they let them fight dirty like that. So, I mean.
Yeah, you get a mix of rabbit punching and all that type of stuff going on.
You pull them down and just keep stalking them up, bro.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Also, your knuckle, man, would be a good, almost like a mix.
Salute to Pearl Sir. Folks, if you haven't, go check out Pearl Sir. Hey, subscribe to everyone in here in the mix right there. It's all one family for sure. Pearl Sir. Hey, appreciate you there, buddy. So go subscribe to him for sure. Joshua Wood says, "Send me the clinch ain't got." Yep, the clutch. Yeah, the clutch, which is basically a clinch. That's why he got his nickname, Semi Angot. And I don't know a ton about Semi, but he used to get off his punches and grab right there. It calls him the clutch. Right there. Semi Angot. The world champion. Was it welterweight? I believe it was welterweight where Semi Angot was world champion at one point. Yeah. He's one worth checking out. But you had to get used to watching a fighter to get off their work, then clinch. Okay, guys, getting sleep. Hey, appreciate you there, Boz. Appreciate you dropping by. I know you're holding it down in Norway. So, hey, that is on point there, Boz. Hey, you are appreciated. No doubt about it there, Boz. So we thank you for dropping by for sure. Pearl Sir, once again, everybody showing love. Rules today would stop Johnson from doing what he did in this day. Certainly, that's where a lot of it is changed right there. Joshua, for sure, that's where a lot has changed, just thinking about it from that perspective. So it would be a little bit different, and Johnson would have to switch up things, especially there in the latter portion of his career, or at least the championship reign in his career, where he did a lot of clinching. And he could be offensive for sure, but yeah, it would be a different dynamic with the way the rules are now, just from an overall perspective. And maybe fights wouldn't have been drug out, or at least those that he was involved in wouldn't be drug out as long as they were in these modern times here for sure. So it's one of those interesting things there. Most certainly. Dan says clinching is a very useful tool in boxing. Some fighters didn't do it. Like Gary Cooney, no one could figure out with such long, strong arms, and he got clumsy and started getting banged. He should use, he should have clinched, certainly. You see him in there against Foreman, that's always a knockout that stands out when he goes down there. So that makes, you make a good point there, Dan. Certainly. Some knew how to use it, some don't.
Cumbie's pretty good, man. I have a friend that trains with him in Arizona, and Adam Stewart, All-American. And McCumbie's game, man. He's tough. He's got good movement. I don't know, but that's Plant, bro. I don't know.
So that's who Plant's fighting, McCumbie.
Yeah, McCumbie's pretty good though. That's he's a good fighter though. I got to give him credit. He ain't like a nobody.
I didn't even know this. I didn't know this was happening.
Yeah, I have a friend that trains with him, and they go hard, man. Adam Stewart, he's the All-American. He's a heavyweight.
I see he knocked out Jesse Nicklow, who's from this area. I know Jesse Nicklow. I know who he is. Interesting. Yeah, I didn't know. So this was recently announced, I take it.
Yeah, McCumbie's dedicated though. I give him credit though. Dude's gonna be tough for Plant. I mean, Plant probably do his thing. You know, Plant's got probably better movement.
Oh yeah, certainly.
Yeah, McCumbie's strong though. That's the thing with him.
Yeah, he's 28-0. So yeah, he's up there for sure. But Plant, he's certainly one of the best as far as out there right now. Certainly at 168 pounds, no doubt about it. Salute to my man, Random Acoustic Thoughts in the building right there. Be sure to go subscribe to them, folks. If you don't know, Random Acoustic Thoughts, and he's about history, baby. Sam Langford in the nines right there, but he has a ton of Sam Langford contests for those that are wanting to learn a bit more about Sam Langford. Hey, Random Acoustic Thoughts, no better channel to start with than that one for sure. Go check them out.
Langford earlier, we're bringing them up.
Hey, had to bring him back. Langford's name always comes up, but he's one to check out for sure. A true legend of the sport. And as far as I'm concerned, it took me a while to get to this point, but I'm there. It's certainly the GOAT as far as I'm concerned, as it relates to this boxing thing right there. Sam Langford, a.k.a. the Boston Bone Crusher. So check him out on Random Acoustic Thoughts channel. Feel free to subscribe, folks, if you can. Edith says, I know Plant has cotton hands, but laser shot like he did Darrell could be the KO. Yes, sir. Yeah, hey, that was a beautiful knockout of Darrell right there. I think it was a left hook right that just ended the night. Yeah. End of the day. and so Plant very skilled fighter for sure. There's no question about it. Skilled enough to make it happen. So he is one to work. He is one to check out for sure. So salute to Caleb Plant. Armstrong was pretty hard to clinch with his work rate and punching. Certainly there, Joshua Wood, the great Henry Armstrong, the only boxer in history to hold 3 world championships simultaneously. Have a video on the channel right there. He was world featherweight, world lightweight, and world welterweight at the same time, and could have won the world middleweight championship against Seferino Garcia, I believe it was, and ultimately some say it was a robbery. Some say that for sure. So pretty crazy right there. But Henry Armstrong, as far as I'm concerned, my 3rd greatest fighter of all time right there. Henry Homicide Hank Armstrong. Dan says, I thought it would be out to be 60 some joint with clinch Cooney, especially Holmes against Spink and Holmes and Spinks. Especially against Holmes and Spinks. Oh yeah, I got you. For sure there, Dan. Joshua said, love the actor that did Sam Langford in the Joe Louis story. Real life, they did bring him on board for a bit of help, a bit to help Louis. Oh, what's that? Woods? I don't know if I've seen Joshua Woods. I don't know if I've seen that. I need to check that out. I don't know that I've seen that. Dan, life is right. Bang, Aussie, but you know, to get bang and dizzy, clinch, regroup, fight strong. The art of war. Hey, that's what it is. It is an art for sure.
Yep.
Most certainly is an art. But man, good stuff right there. Hey, folks, we're about at an hour and a half right there. So seems about that time. What do you think there, Skywalker?
Yeah, definitely. I came in, you were live, bro, and you always hop on my show. I'm like, man, I gotta hop on here. I don't know a lot of history, but I keep up a lot with the current, you know what I'm saying? But the history, I always learn something with your channel, bro. Always
know enough to keep it going there, you know. And I don't have the book on me. I would show this book, but right now I'm reading Mark Allen Baker's biography of Johnny Kilbane. Very good book so far. I'm about halfway through it, maybe a little bit more than that. Johnny Kilbane, former world featherweight champion, held it for 12 years.
Yeah.
So that's one to check out. Mark Allen Baker. Johnny Kilbane.
Yeah.
So that's what I'll leave you with there, folks. And man, we appreciate everyone being in here. It has been great. Most certainly, real quick, Joshua Woods, Armstrong, Robinson, Greb, and Fitz are about top 4 in my opinion. No doubt about it. Much salute to Fitz. Doesn't get mentioned amongst those top 3 or 4 or 5 often, but man, first ever 3-weight world champion. Middleweight, light heavyweight, and heavyweight. Is actually went in the order of middleweight, heavyweight, then light heavyweight. One of the biggest punches the sport has ever seen, arguably the biggest, but certainly one of the biggest punches, holding it down. English fighter, but spent time down in Australia, New Zealand, that area right there. One of the GOATs, most certainly. And for my money, one of the greatest middleweights of all time. You could argue the top dog right there. But you know, all depends on what you think. Knocked out Nonpareil Jack Dempsey, who is one of the GOATs for sure. Joshua Woods, Joe Louis Story is a bio movie star, and Corey Wallace, who beat Marciano is love. Okay, I'm going to check that out. The Joe Louis story right there. I'm going to check that out there, Joshua Woods. Thanks for sharing for sure. Thank you. We see those historic fighters' achievements. It's hard to get impressed by today's fighters. Certainly, they're Udis. Certainly, Edis.
Yeah, especially once a year, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know. You get once or twice at tops for most part with these, except for the new guys starting out who fight often. But yeah, certainly different. Hey, thanks to you there, Dan. Salute to you. Appreciate you being here, Dan. As always. Hey, Skywalker, appreciate you being in here, buddy. You know. Hey, it's good stuff. Hey, we'll do it again here at some point.
Well, tomorrow we got an interview around this time, bro, if you can.
All right, cool. So, hey, go subscribe to Skywalker Boxeo, folks. Interview tomorrow.
Yeah, it's for the Top Rank Vanilla Lopez, Angelo Leo card. It's going to be a big civil war. 2 undefeated flyweights. Both are, one of them's top 10 flyweight. You know what I'm saying? But both undefeated. There's Ernest. He goes, "Oh, you win,
Ernest."
He was live. I hopped on his show, bro.
It was impromptu. Ernest talking boxing history, really. Just impromptu. So we talked about a bunch of old stuff. Old but goodies.
Hey, tomorrow, Ernest, I'm gonna invite you. I got a good interview tomorrow, brother. It's gonna be with Matthew Griego. I can type it in the chat. The Diamond Boy. And
Diamond Boy.
Yeah, he's a top dog, man. He's fighting another undefeated flyweight here in New Mexico. It's a big fight.
Cool. All right, Matthew Griego.
Boy, yeah.
Salute to the Audis. I'm old but goody. Gotcha. Matthew Griego. So hey, that's who it's gonna be with tomorrow, there, folks. So if you can drop by around the same time right here.
Real quick, I have it. I'm gonna take a second, pull it up.
Got you there, Ernest. Hey, go check out Ernest, folks. Go subscribe to Ernest Johnson, aka Ernest X, right there.
Yeah. My bad, bro. I thought I had the photo.
Salute to you as well. Dan says salute to Bobby Chacon. Salute to Bobby Chacon.
Hey, appreciate that, brother.
Indeed.
Damn, bro. I don't have it. I thought I had it. Oh, yeah, I do. Here you go. This is a fight right here, man. This is Matthew Griego, 14-0, 10 knockouts. We're going to interview him. This is his opponent, Abraham Perez.
10-0, 5 KO. Should be a good fight.
Yeah,
somebody's always got to go.
Yeah, so it's a big fight in Albuquerque. So I'm gonna try to get Abraham Perez. I tried to interview him before, bro, but he kind of it's a hard one. I could try again. But Matthew is very responsive, man, and got back to me right away. So
okay, good stuff then. No, that's good then. So yeah, looking forward to it. So salute to that, most definitely. So appreciate you there, Skywalker. Appreciate everyone who dropped in. As a matter of fact, be sure, hey, check it out. Subscribe to all the people that were in the chat, all that good stuff. Hey, we'll keep this thing going. History and beyond. Thanks all once again.